Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I'll go over 6 bits of advice I'd give to myself before I started working at a Big Four firm. If you're new here, my name is Akin. I've been working at a Big Four firm for about 8 months now, with one busy season under my belt. So let's get right into it. My first advice is get yourself a notebook and take notes for everything. If you're going to be working remotely though, I suggest taking notes digitally because I find it easier to locate things when I have them on my note-taking app. Once you start working at Big Four, you'll realize that there's a steep learning curve and sometimes you'll get bombarded with new information. It's almost impossible to keep them in your mind because our brains are for having ideas, not for holding them. You also don't want to be the person who forgets things that you're supposed to know, and you don't want to miss a decision that was made at a meeting like I did once. So my first advice I'd give myself is create a note-taking system, preferably on my laptop, and take notes for almost everything. The second advice I'd give myself is focus on quality rather than quantity. What I mean by that is double check, even triple check your work before you send it off to your senior. I know it sounds obvious, but when you're under stress and try to check things off of your to-do list quickly, you tend to make small mistakes, and I've definitely been there. Trust me, preparing a work paper quickly doesn't mean anything if it's filled with mistakes that you made because you were rushing. And probably it's gonna come back and bite you in the butt anyway. So remember to double check your work before you send it out. Don't take negative comments personally. I've heard this many times before I started working, but I didn't really pay attention to it. It just sounded like a no-brainer. One day I received a negative message from one of my seniors. Don't remember if it was a feedback on one of my works or a comment to a question that I asked, but I could feel the anger. Maybe I'm wrong and maybe the person was not mad at all, but that's what I felt at the time. And as soon as I saw the message, I got furious. Didn't say anything stupid back obviously, but I was so mad. I just didn't think I deserved to be criticized like that. I immediately went outside for a 15-20 minute walk, which really helped me calm down. A couple of hours later, I had a meeting with the same person and everything was normal. We even made jokes about something during the call. And that's when I realized I shouldn't take any negative comments personally because I don't know what other people are going through, what they are mad or stressed about. Most probably it's not about me, since the expectations of a first-year associate are very limited and everyone is stressed about finishing their tasks and reporting to their seniors. Think of possible solutions to your question before asking your senior. Even if you can't find an answer, it shows that you took the time to try to find an answer, and it means that you just don't go to your senior empty-handed. You're gonna have tons of questions and that's completely okay. There's no such thing as stupid question, as one of my managers told me. But you shouldn't be spinning your wheels for hours when it can take your senior minutes to solve the issue you're facing. So while it's completely okay to ask for help and you are supposed to ask questions as an associate, you should think of 1 or 2 possible solutions before you ask. Having a mentor that you can constantly ask for feedback is extremely important. The firm probably has a feedback system and that kind of helps, but generally that's not a constant feedback and not detailed enough. So having a go-to person that you respect, trust, and genuinely like is key to growth. When I say growth, I don't mean growing within the firm, making director or partner. I mean growing professionally and making the most out of this learning experience, which is my final advice. The last advice I'd give myself is treat it as a learning experience. Like I said earlier, the learning curve is so steep at Big Four. You learn a lot more within a couple of months than you'd learn in 4 years at college. So I would tell myself that don't think of it as a 9-to-5 job. Treat it as if it's the next step of your education. With this mentality, having too much on your plate and the long hours become more bearable. So these are the 6 tips I'd give myself before getting a job at Big Four. If you like this video, you might want to check out this video on the Big Four interview process and my Big Four accounting playlist. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.